So it's afternoon, but still morning for me because it takes me ages to get going. Welcome to my new followers who pass on YouTube, and um, yes, I'm aware about the group home that maybe follow me because they are afraid of what I could reveal. But you know what? Dark light will always win. So I'm not gonna let that stop me because God has given me a voice and this thing. So for me, I just want to share my emotional journey today. Update. I'm grateful that doors is opening today at what date is today? Yeah, the first day, the 28th July. I'm recording in my room. But I'm not gonna show you too much details right now. But yeah, I'm grateful that God has opened the door. My God, that God is open. My God, who has opened the door for me right now, that I was able to go live. Um, yeah, things is for me with my disability are still overcoming right now. Overcoming. It's very frustrating. Not, I may lock my room door, but people just stuff can open the key, right? Can open the key to open the door when even though I can lock my door and everything, they just come in and you know and it's difficult. I still like praying to God, my angels and guardians, right? um that I'll be able to and guides to help me to open the door for me, opportunities, because at the moment in my life I had family and the people who were my legal guardians in the private group home. They don't, I just feel they don't really have any other interest in me. If they did, I would not be here for several years. um but I just hoping to get through. It's very difficult with having since overcoming ADHD, dyslexia and head injury. It's very difficult, to push yourself on the door when you got all this opposition around you. You got political situation like they say in the UK where people do not believe people can overcome, and if they do think people can overcome, they don't think about the realistic point of view that everybody is unique and everybody's overcome in a different way, and healing comes in different ways. People like expect healing comes like, oh, you don't have disabilities anymore. No. I believe that one day there will be no such thing as disabilities, but but God hasn't removed that yet. Instead, like at the moment, I'm dealing with like Paul, the apostle. My fault is there for a reason, right? So there's days when like I slur, right? I have a speech impairment sometimes, or you know, my whole life I've been pushing myself and it to get through, and but I need people in my life that will raise my vibration, support me, push the doors open. It's very terrible difficult, because I have people come in life say, oh, you're generous, you're kind, you're forgiving, and that's great, right? But the problem is that I need people that they're not, when I have a conversation with someone, they're not going to like say, oh, I'll have a life coach, or for example, like I'll say, oh, I got a life coach, right? And they could say something positive, negative about it, right? That's not good. I don't need Debbie Downers. No, no, I have no problem with people named Debbie's, but I mean the saying Debbie Downers, right? People or wet blankets or person, you know, I just need a lot of encouragement I had to walk away from my dad. My mom died last year, and it's nothing to do with COVID. She didn't die of COVID. It was just health issues. I can't explain anything else because I said this is a restrictive platform where you have to be careful what you say. But what I'm saying is that even though I love my mother, she like my dad always felt the worst of me. I had a head injury as a child from playing, and in on Oxford City, because it was where I originally come from, the Oxford City, right, central of Oxford, right, and and it was very difficult. My whole life the system has put my parents just to think the worst of me, think that and saying it's caring when it's not caring, it's not loving. um my whole life I've been put down. I had people raise me up and swells put me down at the same time. And when I say that I put the barriers, they still don't even listen. They're still like coming in and everything, and it's very destructive. You know you, it's frustrating. Yes, I do embrace my power, but I'm just saying is that when you have people in your life where you got so many people in your life that put you down, you can, like, for example, like when I was in 3 years ago, I had a care worker when her daughter came, right, to get some extra pocket money, and I was saying some positive things, right, and I said to the care worker's niece, right, not niece, aunt, and aunt-in-law, and I was like saying, oh, thank you and everything. You know what she said? She said something really terrible, right? She said, oh, all she cares is about this and that, right? Or to take my IKEA shelf, right? Because I had a nice shelf I needed that I wanted, right? And all they wanted was to get the wine glasses, but not make sure I get everything. I had to get them online. It was very frustrating, right? And there's a private care home. They pay thousands of pounds and everything. So I know about the power of positivity, but I'm just saying that my problem is that I have people in my life who are in power that puts me down. I have family members put me down. I went in a care home because I'm 35 years old and I'm in a care home because family did not believe in me. All they ever said was bad things upon me. And some of them, my dad and my mother believe in God, right? But because of their own darkness, they put down things on me. Every time I was raised, like for example, I feel depressed, I think, oh no, what do I feel? You know what? I go somewhere, right? To make friends. They say, no, we can't, right? They get rest, right? And the same thing. So I've been facing on this opposition, the same thing over and over again. And I want the cycle to end. But the thing is though, my problem is that I have to be patient with the people who abuse me. Literally, if it was my own power, I would have basically walk away, but I cannot. I walked away from my abusive partner. I walked away from people in my life, but they just don't listen. So they discriminate me and put me down. I live in a country that does that. They don't reward people who want to overcome. All they put is labels. Labels. I may see Jesus Christ. I may see an angel Raphael as a child, but it doesn't matter because the problem is I'm in a real reality where 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 I have people could could legally manipulate and put things down, and I have to have faith. I have to have faith to walk in fire, and like Daniel in a cave, when he knew he was going to be incriminated and put to death, right, for praying, and he knew his the people who God anointed him, and and he knew he had to pray, right, even though he knew that the in his window that he had spies were spying, right. That's the situation I'm in. My whole life, I'm been put to be a light bearer, be light bearer, where I'm aware about my enemies watching me. I am aware about them, and I'm putting myself in the line to say you have no power, because God is going to raise up more power for me, even though you think you have your power now, but don't worry, you it will backfire, just like what happened to Daniel, right? Daniel, his enemies knew and had power over their life, and they set him up to die in a cave, right? To be with the mountain lions. And what happened? God shut the mouth of the lions, and when they walk out, the king realized that Daniel was his true friend, and any enemies that was messing his head up realized that they was the one who was put to death, right? So it's so there's gonna be people gonna be put there spiritually and mentally with thing. Until then, I've been my scenario has been where I have people in my life where I've been put in the lion's den, literally in the lion's den, where where I'm being with lions because my family would put bad words about me, and and those who's being mind gamed, scenario, being socially brainwashed in what they think about disabled people, or those who come any form of vulnerability, basically defects. And and and, and it's been very difficult for me. My whole life I've been discriminated through family, friends, community, everything. I don't even go to church anymore, because God said to me, you don't have to suffer anymore. You don't have to suffer for your dad anymore. When I was asked for help for Father's Day and this year, and I had to walk away because because oh, minute, because I had to walk away. I had to walk away from him because he was saying bad things to, instead of looking inside of himself about he has problems, saying, well, I can't deal with having a stable child. I can't deal with the fact I'm grieving with my wife, who is my divine partner, twin flames, because I was you know. Instead, instead he um instead he reported me to the care home to say that I was the problem. Now, this was like to remind me when the time when I walked away years ago, before I got sectioned, right, and be in a care resident in Christchurch Hospital. You can probably find it in YouTube if YouTube hasn't deleted, hopefully, where where I put where basically I was walking away from being abused. I stood up my dad and his abusive behavior because he doesn't want to take responsibility with his mental difficulties, which is ADD, dyslexia, emotional trauma, everything. And I had to walk away, and it was, and so the, so and him and my sister, my mother, cover for him, basically cover for him, which is called narcissistic abuse, right? And unfortunately, a lot of disabled people is dealing with this. They've been put in care homes and told that they're being abused, right? And then there's no one there to speak up about it. But I will speak up with it, because the thing is, though, it's important to people to know they're not a fucking alone in this in the UK, right? Or anybody in the world who has family and a country where they don't support them for rewarding for standing up, because they just want them to be a victim and say, or bad guy for walking away, you know. But you know, it's really difficult when you have no one to believe in you, physically believe in you. I may have people online support me and stuff, that's great, right? But I live in a physical world where where physical things happen to me and I have no one to protect me. And I'm praying for my whole life. I've been praying that the abuse, that the cycle of abuse will be ending, be ending. My whole life, my whole life, I even asked God to heal my family, and the answer this years is I don't even pray for that anymore because because I had an angel card deck on my phone that said that certain things have to be broken to be whole, you know, and it's true because God sometimes allow things to break for a reason, right? Sometimes you can't even mend something that's not good for you anymore because you give 1,000 times things, and so you have to walk and start find a new family. It's like in the Bible, people had new families, right? The families that like Abraham and Sarah, because my middle name's Sarah, right? She had to have a new life, new name, new everything. And that's my journey, right? My journey's been like that way. Where I want to be whole, but people have not allowed me to be whole. They don't like me being whole because then it means that they have to, all the beliefs would be broken, including doctors, GPs, the NHS, courts. I had to deal with the NHS court, and I'm blessed that I don't have to be on Medicaid anymore because God has heard my prayer and stuff. But I still have threats. I still have threats of people wanting to put me in a cage, to, to control me. And it's very difficult. You know, I deal with threats every day, subconsciously, psychological and physical threats. And it's very hard when you got a lot of hidden disabilities and you have nowhere to go, someone to help you in, and all the places there is, you have to physically go out your way, and it's not easy. I live in a care home where I have to ask permission, right? Permission, and it's very tiring. It's freaking tiring, you know. And it goes back to my childhood where I had to do that, right? And and it's not. I don't even have my own key, physical key. I don't even. I'm mad right now with even my social worker hasn't even heard from because she doesn't even speak to me. She's working for the care people, but not for me, right? She's not even talking to me. I had to go and get her, ask permission from the care workers to do it, and that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't not happen, right? It should be just me and my social worker. And she asked me, what does you feel like today, Charity? And can help me and empower me. But she does not, right? She's like all the other social workers that I have throughout the years, the few years I had since I was 26. When I was 20, after I had my nervous breakdown, that's when I had social worker, right? Well, I had a private charity social worker from hostel that was bad as well. All of these people was bad. And it forced me to have not have faith in organization. I have met people in the street who came from the same situation. They come from complex homes, they have family, and most of them are working class families where they was homeless, and they had to turn to the family members, and they said, well, they have to go being put with abusive families that said, well, you can't do this and that, and if you do, we'll call the freaking police. And when you just standing up for them, right? I have no family to stand up for me. And it's really angry. I'm really angry. And I know I can focus on my artwork and everything, and that's good. But the thing is, how can I have all the energy to do that when I'm physically being threatened every day? I don't even have the space to get on my work because I don't have the real people in my life who's gonna lift me up, physically lift me up. I don't have a community right now, physically people in my life. It's all good to have online people and everything, but I need physical people. And efficiently, I have to be freaking patient. And I'm 35 years old. I'm going to be 36 in November 22nd. And it's really frustrating, right? It's really freaking frustrating because I know I have to get out. I'm made to feel like there's no hope for me. When God's given me a vision, right? I almost died of COVID-19 with neglect, and I wanted to die. really, I would have happy to die, even though my higher self, God has shown me in the classic record of me saying I volunteer in the highest good, right? That I volunteer the highest good to be the light, be one of the 1,000 light workers, right? But the thing is, though, being anointed doesn't mean that you're gonna have a lot of good people and that life is roses and good, and no, being anointed means that you all your whole life you had people put you down, including family, and even those who said that even spiritual gifted people, as spiritual gifted people, put me down, literally put me down. God said to me, go this place, and I have someone to turn me around, right? Because they sense that, because they cannot. What you mean by not anymore? Yeah, it's yeah, definitely we need the time to breathe, but but yeah, but I have to have faith. I have to have faith to get through my life and breathe and do stuff. But as I said, it's tiring. It's tiring, right? It's tiring. It's tiring and it's frustrating sometimes. You know, I have to walk to the door and deal with my enemies who have ill intentions, ill beliefs, and I have to deal with that. It takes me 3 hours to even get to get out my room. That's how bad things has gone for me. And I never wanted this. My dream was basically that I was hoping years ago, my child is, I was being grieving the past 3 months, where I was where I was of my 25-year-old self and my child, because this month is eating. Oh, look, Angel Light. I think it was Angel Raphael. Look, yeah, in where I was hoping, we were hoping I was hoping that I would have my own place. I would be traveling the world, being with physical people that could lift the burdens out for me, right? But it hasn't happened yet. My dream was that that I would that I'd be 100% whole, then be made to be incomplete. You know, there's times in my life I don't even like the fact that that I was being bullied, but down to in the care system, bullied, where where I couldn't even have the type of diet that I wanted, right? Being raw vegan, organic and stuff. And I had to work around and stuff. At the moment, these days I have to just go out and eat most of the time, or camp in my room, because I still don't have to deal with toxic people that put me down. I have to I I have to we just we here just to keep the light and hold the dream with us, definitely. But yeah, I just so yeah, it's really difficult. I have to admit I am dealing with a lot of grief. My whole life I've been grieving that the fact that I have people that I want to grow, and I have people in my life that's blocking the light out of me, and I have to fight. I don't really want to fight. I just want to just get on with life and be joyful, be the small child um that was um before I had my head injury, or even after I was all right, I suppose. Just just celebrating with the earth and enjoying things, but we haven't come to that yet. We still have to deal with the reality of opposition. I know people say about New Earth and everything, but that's great, right? But for me, New Earth hasn't come for me, because I got people in my life does not believe in goodness, do not believe in the light. They do not believe. But I have to believe in the light in myself. I have to bring new worth. I have to be whole in some things, right? Yeah, that's yeah, definitely. We are one, just like I've got my YouTube live, right? The Miracle YouTube live. But yeah, I just want to like message to people who are overcoming disability, who's trying to overcome a disability, that you're not alone, in your growth, right? Really, that where you feel like it's frustrating that you see other people having people in your life physically to lift you and help you, and it hasn't happened yet because those people in your they're like that because of other people who doesn't believe in that, of what listen or believe, right? you know um you know you know but it's just really difficult. you know I sometimes I do get upset sometimes seeing people on social media, or even when I went out, I think it was last Saturday, and I saw like this guy in his wheelchair, right? He's LGBTQ, right? And I was almost in tears. I try not to cry because I needed that. I needed my inner child and my adult self was crying, that I needed those type of friends, physically those type of friends to open the doors, right? And I don't have these people in my life. And I keep on looking at myself, is it something bad in me? And I'm thinking, no, it hasn't, because because there's nothing bad to me about me. It's to do with the fact that um I have people in my life that does not that making sure that I have no one to come and help me. And I'm praying day in down in meditating the people to physically come in my life, to to not afraid to face my demons, face them, right? Because at the moment I feel like freaking like Aurora in the Disney movie. No, not Disney, but I don't really like Disney much, but freaking like Aurora in the story of where she's in the tower, right? And the real people in her life is going to be the ones, because this is one of my tarot read cards I have on my app, right? eh, where 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 I need people who are willing to go all in the mazes and and eh, in Sleeping Beauty, Aurora, go willing to face the dragon, right? The real people in your life are those who truly love you, are going to face the dragon with you, not leave you freaking alone. For me, I've been abandoned. My whole life I've been abandoned by people saying they love me, they appreciate me, and I feel like Marilyn Monroe, where I didn't feel like that. And it's so funny because actually people who label personality disorder, they do feel alone and abandoned because the real people in their life are not there. Because actually I was labeled personality disorder, which I said I'm trying to rebuke and taking those down, those labels. Yes, I do have all these problems because people put them on me, and I'm trying to take them out. At the moment I'm doing alternative holistic things, and it's cost a huge amount of money. Yes, at the moment it's been very difficult. I can't really say it on here because, as I said, um certain people, which one of those few, they've probably seen it, but I don't really freaking care because I'm trying to take things down because I can't even go to a charity right now, alternative charities, right? Like like Autistic UK, all the charities, you know, it's very difficult, especially when you not have difficulty with writing, right? Difficulty writing is so hard. I'm pushing myself day in, day out, and I'm crashing, crashing, really crashing. I feel like a wave, right? So like I'm pushing myself to get out the door, physically, mentally, and spiritually out the door. Really, like physically out the door. So and it's really tiring. But so it would be nice to finally have someone to come in and say, Charity is not a criminal. Charity is, yes, she has disabilities, but she's overcoming them. She needs reward, right? So I need that. Right, just like people who are trying to physically learn to walk again, and now have physical people. They cannot do it physically themselves. They need physical people. That is exactly what's happening with me mentally and spiritually and physically. I need physical people to lift me up. I can be positive and everything, and that's good, right? But I need physical people. And it's like right now I have to like deal with a lot of problems on my own. I have to and I feel burnout, freaking burnout. But anyway, but I'm taking some new vitamins that will probably help me. That I started. I won't put them because I said, because I live in a situation where I have people that will put me down, and I don't need that, right? So which has cost me a huge amount of money, really huge amount of money, because because I really because I can't deal with another year of being stuck in a care home where people pretending that who are paid £1,000 in the UK to say that they care for me when I don't. Spiritually and mentally, they do not care for me. They're like my physical family that say they care for me only when it suits them. And every time I and it's been really frustrating, really. But 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 yeah, I just I just get very frustrated that I don't frustrated. But I'm I haven't joined a gym or anything. But the only exercise I'm doing these days is just basically walking, doing some meditation, and online therapy, and online groups and stuff. But as I said, and that's good. But I'm like that woman on the tarot on YouTube that was saying that she needs physical people, and I get that. We do actually need physical things. Yes, it's nice to have all this stuff, but especially if you've got multi hidden disability, you need actually physical people to physically help. And I have to be freaking patient, and I'm tired of being patient, to be honest with you, because I'm in suffering silence over 30 years in silence. You know, um, you know, um, but yeah, I I'm doing body emotion code, and I'm doing sun bath, you know, you know, and other things, things, but and other things to, well, even life. I'm even setting up a life coach, right, online, because which, what, I don't care about the enemies, because anybody, if social services watch this, it means that they're seeing that basically that I've been working hard my whole life. I've been pushing myself to 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 overcome, and the lies that people have been putting on me, saying she hasn't do this and that. Well, that's a lie, because I've been pushing myself for for because I was born with autistic, right? Because my parents was autistic. They came from religious homes, which if you follow my YouTube, was the Church of Jesus Christ or Latter-day Saints. Now, I don't go about saying about church, because everybody, because even wherever you go, there's always bad and good in life, right? So nothing's straightforward, nothing's black and white, everything's a rainbow spectrum of things, right? But but what I'm saying was that, my parents was living in shame and everything, and they live in fear, and they didn't get any professional help. My mom, I had to suffer my whole life pushing myself and caring for others, and what so, and every time when people get mad at me when I can't do certain things, I even got the time where people said to me to go this place, physically go to a place, and they don't understand that that I physically cannot. Sometimes I had to have someone to actually come, and I remember when I was growing up at church where I had to tell people, like, I love to come, but I cannot. I can You have to really get the car for me or pick me up, because I cannot physically, because I mentally and spiritually been pushing myself to get on the door. It takes me ages. It's not because I'm lazy or difficult. It's because I'm aware about what I can and cannot do, and it takes me ages to get to A to B. And it's not because I'm negative, or because I'm not thinking positive. I'm positive, but I'm realistic at the same time, basically, because I have to be realistic about certain things, right? Because we may think about, like, we in candy and stuff, but we also have to deal with physical life. There's a reason why we, as human beings, we volunteer to have a body, because to have all these difficulties and severity, because to have empathy, understanding. And so while we're in this situation, we still have to realize the real things that we have, real physical things that we have around us, because we still have to think about bills. We have to think about the physical threats that's happening day in day, because as I said, I am a positive person, but at the same time I have to be realistic to know that there are certain people that have no interest in helping me to move forward. They're going out of their way to even do do to send people to do bad things, like bad spells or stuff like that. you know if you ever followed Browning Cove, there's people who reads about people who in churches and in care system, who was meant to be protecting people like me, but they're not. Instead, they put they install it in everything, and it's just getting to the point where it should be ended by now, right? But the thing is that it hasn't. So, but you know um of those who protect, who just want to see all the good, but then they don't want to see the bad things that's happening right inside of them, and foster them. It's frustrating, because I live in a county in Oxford County, where there's a lot of people having hopelessness, because of, because there's a very spiritual community, spiritual religious community, but there are not physical people who are lifting out those who in a difficult, God is training me when I'm getting out. God is training me to be able to help those like myself who's been who 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 have to who like me, where it's like this this music song. I think I have to find it. It's really cool. um I think it was from winner from American Idol. She had this YouTube, I think it was on my YouTube music playlist years ago, where it was about the rain, about but she's saving this little child, right? And then she takes them be the angel, the earth angel in getting that child out. That's gonna be me. That is gonna be me. When I get out from the care system and God has given me all the tools and abilities to be able to help myself, because you cannot help others if you cannot help yourself, right? So when the time comes, I'd be one of those people where I'd be walking the street and I would open the door for those people like myself who had no, said, look, I can help you. We're going to go and get some legal help for you, get adopt you, even if you're adult. You may be a child, spiritually and physically a child, because the world has made you freaking vulnerable, where there's no one helped you, there's no one believing you. But today, I'm going to help you. That was my dream. That is my dream, because at the moment, it reminds me of years ago in the summer when I met a man who reminds me of myself. He had to give his dog away, his only best friend that gave him hope of humanity, and he had to stay. It was about 3 years ago, around this year maybe, and I couldn't help him because I only had enough money to think I was staying with my mum was alive, right? And I was staying with my parents as a break. There's the only legally place I was allowed to live. And he was saying to me, "Don't tell me about organizations." And I understood what he's on about, right? And I said to him, and he said to me, "Look, I believe in God and everything, you know." I'm just there to go to buy his friend, and he didn't want to let go his best friend because his evil narcissist dad wanted him, and he was crying, having a nervous breakdown. And I had to and I asked God, praying and said, "No, God, you come here and help him listen." You know, it's so funny because the people, the fake generous restaurant, cafe, I would not name, which is funny enough, they're closed because, you know, there was like, they're allowing him to, we was not allowed to sit with him because they didn't want problem people. They wanted to be all nice and giving, right? That's one thing I hate. People that pretend to be freaking benevolent, but they're not. If you want to be benevolent, then you do it with whole heart. If you don't have a whole heart, don't do it at all. That was my philosophy in life. You know, people get mad with me saying, like, "Oh, you know, follow me to do a prayer group," and I said to them, "Look, I won't go to this if I feel holy that I shouldn't. I'm not going to do it." Right? That's being spiritual line, right? Spiritual hygiene, right? If I if my heart does not in it, there's no point. It's a waste of time, right? It's all about the power of intention. As a friend of mine who's overcome disabilities, a shaman, and who in 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 you know, and you know, and that's what I learned from that's what I need to learn, to need to learn. Remember, my intentions, because the people who treated me rotten, they didn't have pure intentions. But like Cinderella, she learned that the power of pure intentions is important. So, you know, so all the nasty, abusive people, they give me a lesson of what that's important, and those who thought they was good people, that they didn't have 100% pure intentions. If they did, they would hear me out and listen to me. So 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 yeah, the power of intentions. But yeah, I just, you know, um, I haven't given up being regaining my power and my confidence despite all the people who put me down. And I will know, I believe that this year I will move out from this group home, and have physical people in my life to support me. Until then, I just have to be hug my inner child, as my friend reminded me the other day, who has who overcome his hidden disabilities and health issues, who's learning shamanism in South America, right? Who's originally from Canadian, right? I won't give his name, but yeah, he's learning this, right? And but yeah, I just um but yeah, and thank you for the support, Jen and Archangel Pill. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I just um but yeah, I definitely take focus on one thing at a time though. But but yeah, I just you know, at the moment this has been frustrating. Want to progress and then someone just takes you down. Legal threatens, and or you go out and they say, oh, actually we don't like you going out every day and everything. But as I said, there's been miracles happening these past few weeks where things have been lifted a little bit, and I just have to keep on having faith with that. That even my enemies, they're now starting to shut their mouths a little bit, like the lions. So, but I do, I but and I said I am battling with hopelessness, because I feel like my social worker is not actually contacting me. I've been put. I feel like I've been put in the but back burner. But yeah, sure, I'll do that. Anyway, I'm gonna go out and have a walk before, because I've got a meditation group online. I'm going a bit later, but but um which I'm hope which I can't say, because I said, my enemies might be watching. I don't know, but but because I'm posting after this live, but yeah, I'm just gonna just have a little walk, and ground myself a little bit and do a bit of stretches today, though. But I'm fighting against discouragement from other people. I'm learning from not to be like my mother. Not let people discouragement, their darkness, stop me to be whole. Because I don't really want to be like my mother, where I end up never really actually be my full potential. So you know, you know, but because funny enough, she was born a Leo, so it's because Leo's full moon today, right? So so it's my first year without my mom. So my mom was not perfect, but at least one thing, at least she allowed me to come in the house now and then. It's not like my dad, where he's now take everything and I can't go in and support. But I the honest view, I just um hoping for a new start today. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go, and I hope it I hope it's helping those who have overcome disability, not alone with opposition they have. But yeah, I'm just going to go out and some stretches before go back in my room to do my online support group meditation, which I'm grateful that's successful now because I don't have to think about that so much. So my Zoom online Zoom meditation group that I joined, though, but with someone who in the UK, she got hidden disabilities herself, who had to overcome. Um, so it was just amazing. But yeah, I just you know um things is a lot more better than it was the previous thing, but yeah. Anyway, um, God bless everyone and may light protect you, and just know you're not alone with the amount of opposition you're going through. Just like hold on the beliefs that there is light in the end of the tunnel, just that you have to be the light in the darkness. Even though everybody else is trying to take your light, there's no to not allow anybody blow out your candle, right? So and but I believe that today I'm going to get through today, and there's been miracles, so hold on and on to that. Okay, bye for now. Thank you, soul family. Thank you.